I recorded.
Yeah, okay.
More than required hours. So QFD, we need some detail, in-depth ones.
Sure. We'll do it. So I will make
Gopal
sure.
is having more supporters. Huh? Good.
Okay. I'll make sure, though the example is going to be simpler, you will be able to dive deeper, when you actually work on any project, particularly QFD related. So, quality function deployment. So, what is this QFD and the benefits of quality function deployment? And there is a terminology called house of quality. So, what is it? And I will give one example, and probably you can always go for the next level of example also, an industry case. I think Vinod Shankar is an expert in that. You can see his industry example of QFD if time permits. So basically QFD is a method, it's a system by which the customer needs are converted into most appropriate technical specification so that your product will really do well in the market and help your company to grow faster, help your company to stay ahead of the competition, right? So QFD translates the customer requirement into appropriate company requirement. Appropriate company requirement at each stage, from research to development, development to engineering, engineering to production, and then to the marketing and sales. At all stages, if you are developing a product, everyone will have a requirement. For example, the sales and marketing, they would like to have an excellent aesthetics, and the packaging should also be great. But customer expectation is what is inside the package and how it is going to perform. And the design will have their own requirement. They can't, the limitations, and manufacturing team will have certain expectation. So you have to, convert the customer requirement into the company requirement at all stages. And this is what is done systematically by a procedure called quality function deployment. So it was initially introduced by the Japanese professors again, Yoji Akwayo and Shigeru Mizuno, right? And it was first implemented at Mitsubishi, later at Toyota in 1977. And at the same time, Toyota reported 60% reduction in the product development cost and 33% in product development cycle time. So what you can do in what they have achieved in 100 hours, they are now able to achieve in just 33 hours. So that's the kind of improvement they made. That means the concept to market, the time from concept to market has come down drastically after the inception of this tool. So where this QFD works, the QFD works here between the must be and the performance. This is the kind of model, right? And what are must be? The unspoken requirement. What are performance? The spoken requirement. What are excitement needs or the attractive? The unexpected. Customer doesn't even expect that, but your product has got. But QFD actually works here. If some of the unspoken requirements are not met by a product, that will get addressed in the QFD. If the unspoken requirements are not met, since it is a must be, people will start speaking about it. What is this here? This product doesn't have this feature, right? And they will start speaking about the feature, and that will pull down your image. So such features will get addressed in the QFD, and as well as the performance features, which the customer will be talking about. For example, when you want to buy a car, obviously you will talk about the mileage when you are buying a car. Obviously, you will talk about the engine horsepower and the number of seats. All those things, you will talk about. So whatever the customer actually speaks out, please understand those are all performance features, right? And QFD focus on the performance features as well as the unmet. Right. As a result, the benefit is reduced time to market, and you can avoid repeated changes in the design. In one go, you can get an appealing design to the customer, and decreased design cost and manufacturing cost, and improved quality, and automatically increased customer satisfaction. These are the benefits. So QFD actually, when created, it will look like a house of quality. So why it is called house of quality? You can see it looks almost like the house, right? Not like the house what we have, but looks like somewhat, no, like a house, so they call it house of quality. You can see a roof and all those things, right? So it's an assembly of several deployment hierarchy and tables. Each one is actually a table. You can even call them a matrix. The left side one, this is called, prioritized VOC. You know what is VOC? Voice of customer. Nothing but customer requirement. Only thing is, it will be prioritized here. How to prioritize? Just now we found one way, the Cano, right? Must be performance and delight. And if there is some other way, that is also possible, right? So it is prioritized VOC. Nothing but the what the customer wants, that is written here. And now you will write certain characteristics here. These characteristics will ensure delivery of the customer requirement. That means the whats are written here and hows are written here, right? How you are going to deliver, that will be written here. Nothing but the technical specification, nothing but the CTQs. The voice of customers or the customer wants. CTQs are nothing but how the company meets the customer requirement. So the whats are here and hows are here. Prioritized VOC, prioritized CTQ. And the relationship between the VOC and the CTQ will be expressed here. The relationship between the VOC and the CTQ will be expressed here in this area. This is called relationship matrix. This is called relationship matrix. And the CTQs, nothing but the technical specifications of the product. Sometimes what happens, one specification will have a relationship with other specification. For example, my engine horsepower is very high. That will affect the cost of my vehicle. If the engine horsepower is high, then what will happen? The cost of the vehicle will also be high. So there is an interrelationship within the CTQs that will be expressed here. That is called correlation matrix. That is called correlation matrix, also called as the roof of the house. Now on the right side, you have quality planning table. Quality planning table. From the customer standpoint, from the customer's viewpoint, where do you stand as of now? That we will be able to see here on the right side. This is called quality planning table. For example, there are so many companies are offering black belt training program. Finally, you have chosen us and then you are here in the program. When there are 10 such companies offering the program, where do we stand with respect to the 10? With respect to our customer segment, are we standing at number 1 or are we standing at number 2? That will appear here. Okay, having understood that we are at number 3, I want to become number 1. From number 3, I want to become number 1. So where should I focus? That will appear here in the bottom. This is called a design planning table. So what is this one? Prioritized VOC. What is this one? Prioritized CTQ. What is this one? The relationship matrix. Here it is correlation matrix. Here it is quality planning table. Here it is design planning table. I'll give a very simple example so that you understand what is QFD and immediately work out some calculations for QFD and then you can make recommendation to your company.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, again, can you explain about the quality planning table?
Yeah, quality planning table on the right side will tell where do you stand as on date from the customer viewpoint in terms of the quality level. In terms of the quality level. Customer thinks that your products are the best in the market. Then you will appear on top on top of the list here with respect to each feature. Say for example, let's say you are manufacturing a printer. As far as the printer speed is concerned, your printer is the fastest in the market. Right? Your printer is the fastest speed in the market. But as far as the cost is concerned, your printer is bit costlier. So customer will rate your product slightly low because it is costlier. Do you get my point? So that thing will appear on the right side, which is called quality planning. But this ranking is purely based on the customer's perspective. Whereas here you will do a ranking that is based on the current specifications of your product. We'll see this with an example. And I'll give very, very simple examples so that you can easily follow me. So on the left side, prioritized VOC. These are nothing but what the customer wants. This area, prioritized CTQ. These are nothing but how you are going to satisfy the customer expectation. How you are satisfying the customer? through the CTQs, right? And relationship is given here. How much you will give it to the customer? What needs to be given, you have decided. But how much you should give each? For example, the black belt training program. The live training is important. Live training is one of the CTQ. But how much of live training you are going to give? Is it 36 hours or it is 42 hours or it is going to be 24 hours? That will reflect here at the bottom. This is called design planning, right? But according to the market scenario, what the customer perceived quality. Customer today thinks that having a 6 days training program is okay, is the best. And so from the customer point of view, this is okay. Our customer expects 8 days, but you are doing it 6 days only. Then you will appear second or third in the list. This is how. So right side is quality planning. The bottom is design table. Yeah. So we'll go to a simple example. See here. Imagine an institute is offering a management program, right? A master's program in management, and MBA program. Can you give me a few of your requirements? What could be your requirement if you want to join an MBA program? Come on. No, you don't need to look at the slide. You can tell what are your expectations. Suppose you want to do an MBA. You are already working. Let's say the customer segment also working professional. What are your expectations from an MBA program?
Case study. Daily case study.
Okay. Okay. Do you think the customer students, the customers will use the terminology case study? Because customer's voice should be as it is, how people speak in the market.
Okay. I perceived myself as a CTQ man, not the VOC man.
All right. So maybe.
Job, sir. Campus.
Yes, sir.
Job, sir. Campus job.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So placement has to be there. So campus.
Recognized university. It should be
Very good.
a recognized university. Yeah.
Very good. Recognition is one thing. Another recognition is important. Then ranking. Very good. So customers' voice have to be captured and that will be prioritized. I have only a portion of the customer's requirement written here. Customer expect the program to be of international standard. I'm doing an MBA program. It should be of international standard. So I've written international. This is customer's voice. But what is the meaning of international? You have to ask other questions to understand. What do they mean by international? Are they really want to go to several countries and study, or they are expecting certification from an international board? And you need to understand. But customer voice is this. And then customer expect the program to be affordable. Program to be affordable. And then the degree is respected. Maybe if you go to an industry, they must offer a job based on your qualification. And the program should be flexible. It must allow you to work. At the same time, it must allow you to earn the MBA degree also. Realistic pass chance. When I enroll the program, will you give me the degree? Right? So that's the point here. I think that also customer looks at it. They really don't want to run any risk. So risk associated question is also comes under the requirement. And then they want the program to be a cool program. When you talk to the customer, these are the customer's languages. You need to ask them, what do they mean by cool? Whether the classroom should be air conditioned or it should be co-ed, or I do not know the meaning of the cool, right? So this is what the customer has mentioned and that was captured. And now, how are you going to fulfill the requirement? Now you have to design the course. You have to design the product. You have to design the service. Nothing but you need to judge on the CTQs, critical to quality characteristics. See here, I have written certain CTQs here, right? The list may be very lengthier, depending on the kind of product and service. The lectures, for example, this training program, quality is judged based on the lectures, right? So lectures, but when I say CTQ, it should be specific, it should be measurable. How many hours of lectures per semester, right? And that way you need to write here. And the number of tutorial hours for every course, for every single credit course or a 2 credit course, how many tutorial hours are allocated? What is tutorial? Hands-on. They handhold you. For example, project charter, we are going to handhold you and we are going to fill up each and every box in the project charter, and that's a kind of tutorial hour. Right? Mere delivering lectures are not, sometimes enough. You need to go for that extra mileage. So tutorial and then research. So research, maybe, this will make your program gain more and more recognition, right, in the market. And then the test, definitely, obviously, some kind of monitoring, some kind of assessment is required. And lectures, in addition to the classroom lectures, some of the lectures are online. Right, these, because of the existence of the online platform, you can invite professors across the globe and then you can make them address your student. So these kind of features, one by one, will gradually make your students find their requirements fulfilling. Hope you are able to connect it, isn't it? So, and then foreign tie-up, the institution in India, has, collaborates with various universities in abroad, so that the student not only receive the certificate from the institute, he also, be allowed to receive the certificate from a collaborating university, also dual certification and things like that. And then industry tie-up, the university or the institution has collaboration, strong collaboration with several industries, so that your degree will be recognized and you are provided the job opportunities and the internship opportunities. And then electives. Students can also make a choice of, so just a minute. Wait 1 minute.